I
Hello,
have no
ladies
way
and
of
gentlemen.
testing the sound, Steph, so if you can do it your end, that would be very helpful.
I sure can, I believe. It's all going well. That's the problem, though, isn't it? When you start to believe.
We know not to fall for that one.
Yeah, not when it's left to me. Believe in God. Don't believe in my skills when it comes to streaming. I was reading an article because we are really close to our 100th episode. Yes, that audio is
Yeah.
amazing.
Awesome.
And it's basically a old tradition, as long as YouTube has been about, that people celebrate their 100th video. A lot of people do it as a challenge, a 100-day challenge, so that by
Yeah.
their 100th, people understand that you've had so much experience by that 100th episode that you must know how to like draw in an audience. You've really like found your feet. The confidence is supposed to grow and the quality of the thing. And I was like,
That doesn't apply to us.
yes, you can just start a podcast with a smartphone and an idea. Is that really all that's needed to really get boosted and everyone listen to you? No. Even something as simple as microphones, which improve the quality, it gets sold to you. Just plug it in, it will fix it, it will be amazing. And then when you really need this technology, it doesn't work.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a whole analogy that can be applied to ADHD, that the regular person by their 100th episode has gone through a regular progression of moving forward, whereas an ADHD person by their 100th episode has gone forward, back, forward, back, forward, back so many millions of times, still not, those habits still haven't stuck. Do you get what I mean? Because like for an
Yeah.
ADHDer, it's like that habit forming for me. Even though I'm doing something every single day, it never ever turns into second nature. It always remains something that I have to fight to not forget.
Oh God, I've never related more to words spoken. It's just yeah, it's exhausting.
Yeah, that's probably why we both are exhausted today. Because it's like we've had lots of different activities to be planning for and applying ourselves to, and it takes a lot of background energy. That's probably what's
Yeah.
tiring us out.
It gives me a great appreciation for podcasts that I do watch, to think that a lot of them have teams, but some of them don't. And to think that just before, I thought it was just showing up, talking about something for an hour and then leaving. And there's so much more that goes into it. And it's hard to explain. I don't want to sound like I'm like, oh, so much goes into it, because it's like, well, then don't do it. Like, I also really enjoy it. I just wish life wasn't bothering me while I was trying to do it. Let me get on and be a podcaster. But instead, no.
It's like
Such as,
content creation in general, though, right? Like, people just take, if you're not in that game, if you're just a consumer rather than a creator, you just take it for granted that these videos are popping up, and that person's just recording something and putting it out there. But it's not. It's like even the caption and the hashtags absolutely drain me sometimes. Like, I cannot possibly string together any more sentences to write the caption. Like,
no, I completely agree. There's so much that goes into it, and it's all right shooting the thing that you
yeah,
want to shoot. Say
yeah,
you're at an event and you want to put some stuff together, like the getting the materials, fine. I
yeah,
mean, it can kind of encroach in your like wanting to enjoy the moment, but
yeah,
you can still like, all right, I'm getting it done. Then you get home, and obviously, I know you've still got this like love for like getting home and going through all your
yeah.
pictures,
I
and you
like
like to
doing
get it done then. I am exhausted by the end of any event.
it.
The
Yeah,
idea of sitting down and being like, and now I'm going to make a video, just doesn't. It has happened, but it just very rarely happens
yeah,
to me. The idea then that I've got to sort through all that footage of what's important, what's not. So the amount of time, say we've had a video and I've been like, I need a week to make it, but you've shot stuff in the time, in the moment, and you've made a video that night and posted on it, and I'm like, it's been put out. It looks perfect. I can't make these short videos. So I'm like, I need to plan. I need to get it out. I need to take a while to make this long form video. But you're so good at making these like snapshot shorts.
But that's why we should complement each other in the sense that our styles are different, our approaches are different. You know, the way we can both attend the same event and the way that we put that out to people as a presentation is still two different perceptions of it. So,
no,
you know,
definitely.
it's like it's a complementary thing that you've got like the long form editing going on, and I'm just like 90 seconds go.
It's an art form. It really is.
I definitely do enjoy it though. Like you say, my pleasure is getting home, going through all the content, deleting all the bits that are rubbish, getting it down to the bits that I'm happy with, and then starting to put it together. Like I get such a buzz from creating. So it's like that I don't have to force myself to do that part. Sometimes though I'll find that I like take a load of footage and then something else takes my fancy, and then the idea of going back to that thing and putting, I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered now, because again, that's the ADHD thing, right? It's like we're so into whatever our passion and focus is on that if we move on from that, then trying to go back to something is really hard.
No, definitely. I mean, like, I think we've lost connections because I've spent too long editing it, and the idea of having to go back has just taken so long that the other people have been like, yeah, no worries.
We're just going to move on.
But we've got some people in the chat. Hi guys, it's Wednesday again. We've got Dane. Hey ladies. Joss, good afternoon. Good afternoon with the smiley cat face, love heart cat face, whatever it is.
Very cute. I
was thinking earlier in the week that I actually don't think I interpret emojis the way that a lot of people do. Or are emojis unique to everyone's usage, and we're all going around the world thinking we're using them in the same way?
That's a really good point. Because obviously we've spoke about this before, the way that we comprehend things is different. Like you can ask a question and I'll glean a different question from what you've said, if you see what I mean, somebody else. So of course we must be doing that with emojis as well.
So you know when someone uses the eyes, like they're just two eyes looking to the side.
Yeah.
Do you use, I mean, I know the sentence obviously provides the context.
Gives a bit of context, yeah.
But let's say the sentence says, I don't know, not seen you in a while. Is that like at you or the situation? They're like, and what is the eyes doing to the side? Is it judging?
See, I see the eyes as cheeky, like a side eye, but a cheeky rather than an angry wide eye. And that, like, not seen you in a while, then the eyes, I'd just see it as that they've written seen, the eyes have popped up and they've picked that emoji. I wouldn't read too much into that because the sentence is what's gave me the context. But it's more those ones where they're like the tongue out, one eye winking. One eye open, one eye winking, tongue out. I always just kind of did that as like, I'm crazy, but then as in like, using it as a nuts thing. But then apparently it can be a bit of a thirst one as well, like as in like, I'm naughty. As in like, wink, wink, tongue out. Yeah, and that's the thing in it, it's dangerous.
The one that's like, oh, whatever, maybe. Oh no, maybe it is doing that. It is doing that, isn't it? In my head, it looks like it's going... It's doing everything different with every different feature, but it is going, which is kind of creepy now.
Yeah.
Oh, when have I used that emoji when I was just mean? Oh,
we need to do a whole episode on emoji because, funnily enough, my boss said to me, her New Year's resolution was to learn emojis, and she's autistic, but the way she said it, to learn emojis, I thought, what do you mean learn? Just start using them to represent how you're feeling, like I use emojis a lot, but I'm trying to show I'm not being narky. I think that's my biggest thing, is that I am joking, or, this isn't, don't take what I'm saying as seriously as it could sound. So I do find them helpful to soften things, like, but then I always read, the thumbs up, I read that as like aggressive. but like someone like my mum probably is just genuinely giving me a thumbs up. But if someone gives me a thumbs up, I see that as like they're like, yeah, all right. But it's like actually they probably don't mean it like that.
I do that when it's, like it's news
Noted.
that you want to be like, I've read it, but it's not
Yeah,
good news that you want to be like, love that. And it's like, my auntie died. Gonna meet at this pub at 2 p.m. for the wait. I want it to be like, great, rather than love that.
yeah. Again, that's a difficult one, isn't it? Because you want to acknowledge the message, but sometimes the heart is the only reasonable one to acknowledge you've read it. I don't know. Right. Let's maybe this should be a parody religion, emoji use.
I mean, there's got to be one already. This takes up a whole new episode. Yeah, you're right. We need to get off of this.
Well,
But in the chat, in the meantime, if you're watching this and there's an emoji that confuses you, put it in the chat
get
and
it
we'll
in
see if we
there.
can decode it next time. I was trying to see what other messages we had, but I've gone up too far. Someone said Hollywood star. Love that. I've seen her in the hib. I've seen her in the hub. Levi, someone's seen him in the hub. Said hi, Jack Firefly. You look like you finna steal Pampers from Home Depot. Strange analysis that you've given from views,
You
but
don't like you what? Steal Pampers from. It's because it's probably my bald head because I look rough as oat. It's just a stereotype, Steph. I've got tattoos and a bald head, so of course I nick things.
this is where I tell you I've actually shaved mine. No, I'm
Yeah,
joking.
that'd be a wicked reveal, wouldn't it?
I wish I was brave enough, mate. I'm just not. Hi, what is this live about? God knows. This is supposed to be about parody religions. One in particular that I've taken a great interest in that I thought would be quite entertaining to
I'm
cover
really
on this
looking forward
podcast.
to hearing about
But
it.
the past 10 minutes have not been about that. They've been about emojis.
Just that style.
Nathaniel Johnson says, I love the French, and I love that. Lily Coby says, I love you.
Oh, thanks, Lily.
And we've got how old are you? Collectively. We should answer collectively.
Like, I don't...
Yeah, I can't do maths. I'm 33.
30s. Yeah, and I'm 38. I always go to say I'm 39 because when it's on the lead up to my birthday, I'm already there in my head that I'm that age. And then it comes as a nice surprise when it gets to my birthday. And I'm like, oh, no, now I'm 39. So I'm 38.
I do the same, but I try not to because then I feel like I've lived in that too long where I'm like, I turned 39 and I'm like, oh, I already felt 39. No, I should feel newly 39 on the day and I'm going to get it. So stupid. George says I use emojis to summarize emotions. I think that's what I do, but whether I'm summing up the emotions to portray them to someone to receive them in the right way, I have no idea. You look like Tony Blair. Tony Blair has hair, so I think this one's at me.
Tony Blair, who said that? I've missed that.
That's the same guy that.
I'm gonna say it's the same guy that said that I steal Pampers from B&M, is it or not? Oh no, it's the same guy who loves the French.
Well, he's our number one chatter right now, so thank you, my love.
Keep it going. It's hilarious.
Why are you talking to a cat?
Because I'm a witch.
Love your cat hat. Because why not? Don't ignore black cats. They're not actually bad luck.
Sorry, I've just gone to the bottom of the chat. That's actually hilarious.
Oh wait, I'm getting oh dear. I see the eyes as a knowing look.
That is the eye emoji. Yeah.
A knowing look. Okay. We're getting closer to understanding. Okay. There's been a few emojis. I think I understand the meanings of those. Oh yeah, these crazy like I see what you mean now. The one that's like with the one that goes just to the side.
Just looks crazy to me.
In one way, even more crazy, like unhinged, but in one way, even more thirsty. Now that's opened my brain. I can't unsee it. Hello, my name is Aiken. He said, "Hi, how old are you, please? Are we getting trafficked? I'm unsure what's happening here. Need to combine the emoji. Oh, we need to start
Wait, waiting
combining
for it
them
to
then.
get to.
Lesbians. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever had 15-15 on the lesbians, we've finally been called it. It did not take long."
Oh god, it's just so. And then it's like the fact that following it is just the word bold. It's like this is like being in class with my students and they're all just randomly shouting out like abuse.
Lesbian, bold. You always look fabulous. Cheers, Kat. Thank
The
you.
chat is a bit odd, Jaws. Tell them, put them in their place. And then who's this guy? So when does the effing happen? What? Oh, okay. How was that effing what? Like, oh god. Okay, it's a bit
These
early for
lesbians
that.
will not be doing that. That's on the Patreon. If you go and subscribe to the Patreon, there's tons on there. You'll find it all.
Brilliant. The chat is strange. Right, we're
Right,
going to
anyway.
move on from the chat because I really want Steph to explain what
Please.
a parody religion is and then hear about the parody religion that has taken her down a rabbit hole.
So, this hat is on by design. I am channeling the why the fuck not, right? Because that's basically what a lot of these parodies do.
Yeah.
So what is a parody? What is satire? It is something that generally mocks something that's already existing, that's real. But it does it in a more light-hearted, jokey way rather than like an aggressive, you don't know what you're talking about. It more poses questions and helps people to like think more around it. And a lot of these also allow for free will. So if you want to believe in certain religions, that's fine. It's more questioning, why can't we believe in other things? I like the idea of the religion, the flying spaghetti monster. That is what we're getting into. So before we get into that, there are a load of different satirical and parody religions and movements. I just wanted to run through a few of them really quickly, just because they made me laugh.
Yeah.
Discordianism was
Sorry,
founded in
say
the
that again.
1950s.
Discordian.
Discordian.
Discordianism. Okay.
Yes. Which basically is the idea that the world is chaotic, and it was founded in the 1950s, and they worship Eris, the god of chaos and discord. And they have this sacred text called the Principia Discordia, and it mixes absurdity, fake rules, and contradictions. And one key idea is that all statements are true in some sense, some are fake in some sense, and also meaningless in other senses. And you can just see how that sentence means absolutely nothing, but it's
It
saying
kind of covered
something.
everything.
Yeah, and you could attach meaning to that if you really want to. Like, yeah, you know what? I do actually get that. There's other ones such as worshipping Slack within the Church of Subgenius. This was created in the 1970s, and it promises salvation through Slack, which is basically freedom from societal expectations. And it mixes conspiracy theories, UFOs, bizarre prophecies. It satiricalizes the idea of consumerism and cults. Another one, I will get onto it, I promise, is the invisible pink unicorn. Now, this is
Brilliant.
a lot more of an internet thought experiment than an actual movement, but it is the belief that an invisible pink unicorn exists. It's funny because it's invisible, so you can't see it, so you can't prove it. But also it's pink, so how does anyone prove that it's invisible and pink? And this basically grows upon the philosophical idea of Russell's teapot. So Russell's teapot is, wherever you find it, I've written all of this. Da-da-da-da-da.
Gosh, there's just been a massive gust of wind that like rumbled and threw the bus. Like it was like
the wind right now is
bus was
crazy.
like, yeah, it's actually mad. Sorry, I'm just going to turn this light on because I'm losing light quite quickly now.
I was going to say, yeah, when we first logged on, it was already dark here. I've got the lights on and everything. You were like, yeah, I don't quite need it yet. It rapidly changes, doesn't it, when it starts getting light?
You are going to need it in 2 minutes, Lind.
Yeah, oh my God. Shout out to anyone in the UK right now that is battling this weather. So how it relates to Bertrand Russell's teapot. Russell's teapot is an idea that Russell had that he proposed. If someone claims there is a tiny teapot orbiting the sun, so small that it can't be detected, you can't disprove that it's not there, but that doesn't mean you should believe that it is there. And it's the idea that the proof of of these extraordinary claims should be on the person that's making the claim, not on the people trying to disprove it. Again, just a type of philosophical thing. There's no right, wrong way of it's open for debate, right? So the connection to the flying spaghetti monster is, again, this is another build upon that. So the gospel of the flying spaghetti monster comes from the belief system called Pastafarianism, which they are big on their puns. Their marketing works really well.
Yeah.
It is a satirical but meaningful to some religion created in 2005 by Bobby Henderson. It began as a protest against teaching intelligent design alongside evolution in schools. Henderson wrote an open letter arguing that if alternative beliefs were taught, then schools should also teach the universe was created by a flying spaghetti monster. The idea went viral and evolved into like a parody religion. So they have what they call is the closest thing to a holy book, the Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. And it mixes humor, satire, commentary on religion, science, society. While it's clearly comedic, it also raises real questions about freedom and belief, about separation of church and state, and scientific literacy. And I just thought we'd take a look at some of their core beliefs and their version of the 10 Commandments, which is the 8 I really rather you didn't.
What a lovely way to put it, if you've got a bit of pathological demand avoidance.
That's how you get me to join your religion. Something I can do if I want to.
Yeah.
They'd really rather I didn't. Like, okay. That changes it for me. So some of their passages, very funny but standout meaningful passages that people often quote, is that pirates equal climate control. There is a graph within the gospel, very like fake, weird looking thing, but it basically shows the decline of pirates in the world correlating with the decline of global warming, the decline of the global health, basically, environmental health. And it was this idea that we use these statistic things that we've covered on this podcast before. Correlation isn't causation. And a lot of times that happens when people are cherry picking data. So within their own passages, they're hitting that.
And this is the thing, isn't it? I quite often send things to you to analyze them and let me know how they've clickbaited me, because that's basically what I teach persuasive writing, and I say pair an opinion with a fact. That's how you sway the reader into thinking that everything you're saying is factual, but it's a persuasive technique. So or another one would be to cherry pick some of the things that, like you say, they correlate. They don't necessarily mean they are related or causal, but just because there's a pattern, you can kind of put them together and say, well, this is happening because of this.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're really
and you
good
can
at,
see how
getting to the bottom
that
of
is happening. If anyone caught the Louis Theroux documentary, I've still not watched it, but obviously I know most of these people that are
I've not watched it, but
this is exactly what they do. They pair persuasion with facts, so that it's hard to pick across some things. And it's like Andrew Tate, for example. Oh, well, he just wants men to be safe. Men are actually statistically more likely to harm themselves. And we're going, yes. But the answer is not any of this, guys.
Yeah.
What you're doing is not helping. So yeah, it's just a thing that gets used to us, put on us a lot through society. And it didn't start with Andrew Tate, it didn't start with the manosphere, you know, people in power have been doing this long before.
And media, and that's why you've got to be careful with your headlines and stuff, you know?
Precisely. So what happens if you're good and you're bad in life, in the eyes of the gospel? Heaven and hell. Heaven, very simple, has a beer volcano and a stripper factory.
What? But what if you don't like beer or strippers?
I mean,
is there an alcohol-free volcano?
Sure, it's heaven, right? It will be whatever your idea of because this is the thing. Heaven has that, but hell has the same but really bad versions. So your heaven could be the alcohol-free beer and the male strippers with the gigantic personalities, but hell is going to be Can of Foster's and
Andrew Tate.
Just the whole manosphere.
Yeah. Oh God. All trying to mansplain like where I went wrong in life.
This is why no one will take women seriously anymore. Because we just attract each other. I don't know what I'm doing.
I like it. It's fine. You'll get the views up.
Someone said pop a little hat on, be safe. I don't know what that means, but I like the sentence.
And I get a little hat.
Oh, before that they said I've got to go. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm sorry, I didn't realise we were talking. I'm so sorry. Come back. Come back next time. Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Yes.
So yeah, heaven has a beer volcano and a stripper. Hell has flat beer and STDs. It parodies over literal or materialistic descriptions of the afterlife, and questions how religious claims about unseen realms are constructed and why some are accepted and why are dismissed as completely silly.
Yeah.
So you're seeing how like it's a joke, it's ridiculous, but it also provokes these like questions of like, I don't want to take your faith away from you, but have you considered this while being within your faith? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether that's a case of like, I read that as you believe in your God and your hell. Why shouldn't a different religion have their hell and their God held as just as important? And I know that me and you are very accepting of other people's religions, experiences, beliefs. But it's a big problem around the world right now, right? Where not only do we not understand other people's religions, we're calling them out for things we don't understand about their religions. So
it actually drives me mad. Like it makes me so frustrated. Like every time I tune into the radio, I just have to turn it off again or put music on. Just 'cause I'm just like, is everybody lost their minds? like where is that sense called common sense gone?
Common sense only works when the most common thought is actually productive and like of an educated stance. Like when everyone's common thought is our collective unconscious is going
It's and this is slightly off topic, but still within religion. It's the conversations around, oh, well, they had a religious gathering, so what if we had a religious gathering? But we wouldn't be allowed to have a religious gathering. And it's like, A, you've not organised your own religious gathering, so you've got nothing to base that on other than wanting to start something against that group that had a peaceful religious gathering to say prayers or food or whatever it was. Like, why are you so bothered? Why are you so bothered? And then like the fact that the response is, oh, well, if we all turned up with St. George's flags, you know, you'd have something to say about it. It's like, yeah, because that's intimidating. I would be intimidated if you did that. And I'm not religious. Like, why would you do that? Like, oh God. But the thing is, you can't argue with it because they're coming from this like standpoint that they're so enthralled in this idea that our great country's being taken over. Like, well, I'm sorry, but Christianity's been slipping for years. If you were that bothered, get down the church and keep the faith alive. Like, I don't know what you're crying about. Like, there's room for all of us.
Oh God, wow. I feel like
Sorry, that was my
I'm
rant.
sensing a bit of me in you right now. That I'm proud. Like, get it out, girl. I'm listening, man. Let's go.
When I was thinking about this episode, and you've just touched upon it there, where you're like, it's not that we're taking the mickey out of religion, but it's not a bad thing to kind of question certain things about a religion. And the thing that I'd written down is that people are born into a religion quite often. So, you know, and then that person's not even been given the chance to learn about different religions and decide which one they feel like they align with or whatever. And sometimes that can be the issue, because nobody dares to question it, because then it looks disrespectful, or, you know, that's your whole community that you belong to. That's what fuses you. And it's not that there's anything bad with connecting and praying and being kind to each other and wanting to look after the human race. There's nothing bad with any of that, but arguing over whose God's real, it's like I say, that pink invisible unicorn thing gives the argument where it's like, well, why is your God serious but my pink invisible unicorn isn't? What, you know, there's actually no difference in terms of the concept. So yeah, I think it's a really fascinating thing, and I'm so thankful that you introduced me to it, because I'd never heard of parody religions before. But
Do you know what got me into it? Is I was mixing up in my head. I was like, I swear there's a parody political party, and there's the Raving Monster Loony Party, and they do exactly the same thing. They're mocking this idea that we have democracy. They're not there to take votes necessarily. They're there to just question, like, well, if you're going to vote for these main things, I mean, you could vote for us, we'd never get into power, and that just proves the political system isn't. It's so interesting. But sorry, I realised I cut you off.
No, you're all right, but maybe that's the way that we should go, because we keep saying about going into politics. Do we start a neurodivergence friendly party? You know, like maybe we do the parody route, because we both enjoy comedy and kind of getting people to question things rather than having to take any. Because the thing that put me off politics was the idea that your day is just full of meeting after meeting. I'd be like, I'm not going to a meeting to talk about that. We already spoke about that. Like, so I won't go very far in politics anyway, because I feel like I'm not having another meeting about it, mate, until you've implemented the 6 points that I made the last meeting. Get busy. Go on. But so
that top position is just arguing what you think should be. You don't actually get to necessarily make any changes. It's just like, my people of my constituency want this. At least half of them do anyway.
Yeah, like, at least the 5 that turn up to my clinic every week do. But also, the thing I was going to say as well is that this idea, the parody religions, is a really good resource for in schools. But I couldn't imagine an RE teacher wanting to bring this up in the classroom. But I think that actually it's really fantastic, because I feel like you could understand and glean more from a parody religion, the idea of it, that then you can then apply it to other things. I think it's really cool.
Because at the same time, you still cannot prove that there is no invisible pink unicorn.
Yeah.
And if that's something that, for whatever reason, someone believed in, and it gave them the meaning to get up in the morning, the meaning to put their shoes on and get to work, and the meaning to keep going, or to provide for their community because of this pink invisible, does it matter?
Yeah.
Who cares?
No, exactly. Yeah.
It's
I came across one earlier. Sorry, just one sec. Okay. A parody religion, when I did a little bit of like research. And this one just came up as like number 1 on the list, but you've not mentioned it, so I don't know whether it's not a big one or what. But it was called Dudism. Like, so like dude, but well, DUDISM, Dudism. And it was taken from, I think there was a book or a film where the dude in it was really chill. Like, the more I read about it, I only quickly kind of read the summary, and I was like, yo, I think I could get into Dudism.
This is from The Big Lebowski, if anyone's watched this film. It is Wow, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Dudism stated primary objective is to promote a modern form of Chinese Taoism, aligned with Tao Te Ching in the 16th century BCE, blending the concepts with ancient Greek philosopher and presented in a style of personified by the character of the Dude Lebowski. Um, I've never seen this film.
No, I've not seen the film, but it's another one to throw out there that, you know, there's a whole range of these religions existing.
Isn't that it's just fascinating that something can start based on a TV program and then just start getting recognized. Jediism is another one. It's again
Okay.
used as like, if I'm putting my religion on a form that the consensus or whatever want to know what religion I am, why can't I put Jedi? And then I believe in the United States, if I've got that wrong, there's places that have accepted it as a religion and offer it as a tickable box. Who's actually moving stuff with the Force and using lightsabers? I have no idea. But I love that. I had no idea about dudism. I've got stuff to learn about now. And a film
There's
to
kind
watch,
of
apparently.
like there's kind of a fine line then, really, isn't there, between a parody religion and where I'm at with my spiritual like faith, in the sense that I don't particularly subscribe to one religion, but my beliefs do echo like Buddhism and Hinduism. Like there's echoes of, and like Rastafarianism, you know, there's echoes within my beliefs of these structured religions. But I'm almost kind of
Yeah,
shunning the things
definitely.
that I think sound ridiculous and creating beliefs around the things that I feel relate. So, you know, it's this fine line: religion, spirituality, parody religions, you know, are we all actually just
Yeah,
nuts?
yeah.
Are we all disillusional? Is that the word? Delusion. Oh no, delusional. Yeah.
Delusional. I feel like we humans put meaning to everything, and it's just a case of us finding meaning in whatever we individually get that meaning
Yeah.
from. Um, I was wondering if you have heard this phrase before, touched by his noodly appendage.
No. Sounds like something that hasn't happened to me for a long time.
Same. So, touched by his noodly appendage. I've heard it mentioned before, just out and about, and I've always
Yeah.
thought, like, what is that saying? And it is a phrase used instead of divine blessing within the Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. And it
Okay.
points out how religious language can sound really like beautiful and encompassing when you're in the religion, and when you're looking out of it, how strange these words can mean. The
Yeah.
Bible is one that obviously I understand to be more prevalent because I speak English, and the Bible that I have
Yeah.
read has been in
Accessible.
English. So I couldn't tell you necessarily in other religions how this goes down. But there are words in how often have you been in church as a kid and been like, what did she just say?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
But I
know,
don't.
it's just reminded me of like my version of Jesus or God is David Attenborough, Sir David Attenborough. Absolutely love him. And so this is sorry, so this is slightly off topic, but we'll get back to it. And once me and Lou were like, we used to watch him on repeat, and and he was like, he's introducing, and he's like, and here we have the greatest gash in the world. And we both just like looked up on what we were doing, like, sorry, David, what did you just say? What's he showing us now? But yeah, it's that like innuendo, it can be taken two ways. Like like when I announced to
That's
my class I was
amazing.
going to wash my peach at break time, because I actually have stopped taking peaches to work now, because I went for a stage of really enjoying peaches. And I was like, boys, I'm just gonna go and wash my peach. And then I was like, but I've never got over it. It's like the worst mistake I've ever made during teaching.
Every time you say it, I can't imagine, like, I imagine a peach, but in the place where your
Yeah, yeah.
peach is, like, it's just, I cannot see it not in a sexual way, and it's maybe that
Yeah,
says
it's
more
just
about me.
oh god, yeah, it's
Um,
just brilliant. Oh, there's the
Dane,
chat's
who
popping up.
is a huge fan of Star Wars, I knew would have
Oh
something
yeah,
to say about Jedi. The Jedi concepts were based on various religions from around the world. Oh, okay. Got some information there.
nice.
Um, Ramunto, there is no version of Jesus or God. They are who they are, and you are just perverting their word. Am I? And this is where you people always get it wrong. Jesus doesn't work in the way he works in his way.
Doesn't
Work in
work in
my
your
way
way.
works in his way. Why do you people, is this the you people? Is
No,
this
who
lesbians
do
again?
you people think you are? You're not God when you do the disgusting stuff you do. I love this, and he knows us so well.
What
Clearly,
disgusting stuff do we do? I'd love to know what a teacher and a psychotherapist do.
really doesn't work in your way. Start realizing, bro, stop preaching to us. Stop
So the next
preaching like
bit,
you know or everything, because nobody knows everything.
please, I had no idea that someone had a direct line to Jesus. Apologies.
Hey,
Get your own
I
podcast and
have. Like I said,
get yourself some views.
I talk to God all of the time.
And that's great for you, my love. I'm not sure where the hate's coming from.
I know, yeah, but I tell you what, number one in the chat, keep going. You're our number one fan. This is incredible.
Pushing the algorithm. Stop lying to people and tell them the truth. There are no lies in the flying spaghetti monster. This is
I
a
know.
parody religion. I have not once said that it is a traditional religion. It is
Hey,
a parody religion.
we've
And
also got. Sorry, I'm
oh,
just finding more comments. Sorry, I didn't. I was like, no, you carry on. But a witch, bet she's got a snake in her bag. So this is obviously I'm the witch and you're the black cat. You're my familiar. Um, we'll have to look for the witch's mark and you can suckle on it next time you're here. But
is that my job? Great.
but that's how you get your energy, Steph, from suckling on my witch's mark. But funny
Sorry, I
enough,
forgot. Yeah, of course.
obviously I am a proud witch. Like I will openly say to anybody that I'm a witch, you know. And someone else recently has commented on my TikTok saying, you know, you're a witch. Do you know what they used to do to those, like, you know, in the olden days, blah blah blah, preaching to me as though I don't know what, you know, about the witch trials. And it's weird because it's like since I've had a bald head, I'm getting even more male trolls that are lashing out. Well, actually, it's not weird, is it? It's
They don't
obvious
like it.
why. It's
They don't like
it's
it.
because I'm shunning the female expectations. So, you
Yeah.
know, says way more about you, dude, than it does about me. because
I know. Like, this guy
plenty of
isn't
men
like,
are absolutely fine.
you can tell they're just not lying on a nice beach in like a nice relaxed area with like the people they love around them, just like occupying their time. Like, you must literally be on your own, because why would you do this with people around you?
Yeah.
Two, with your dick in your hand because you're typing too many words for stuff that we haven't even spoken about. Way too excited, but I love that someone was able to get their kicks from us.
Oh, I do love that we've got a lot of people in the chat sticking up for us as well, which is really nice. And Anna's joined in just as like, this is a crazy one, Anna. The trouble is you talk about something like religion, and of course it's gonna trigger people because like we've mentioned before, when you have a strong belief and something questions that belief, it feels personal. It feels like an attack. It threatens to disrupt your normal, everything that you've
Yeah,
based your reality on. So, you know, we totally get it. And we are not saying that one thing's right and one thing's wrong. Because but that's the point of these conversations, is to discuss the many variations that might exist, and they might all exist at the same time.
yeah. I think what these types of people, I'm going to do it now. What these people type of do
Yeah.
is they claim us to be atheist, to be not worshipping God the same way. How about I actually just believe in one less God than you do? it's a really strange, like, I'm here advocating for everyone in every religion to be able to practice their religion peacefully.
Yeah.
That includes you, even
Yeah.
divs that come in. The same way I promote socialism, it's even for the racists, it's even for the bottom of the barrels, because I want equality for everyone, and that's what
Yeah.
equality is. So by you coming in here in the name of Jesus,
Exactly. So, what's the word? Hypocritical.
yeah, he wouldn't like this. I don't know if you like. He wasn't really that kind of guy, but you know, more my hats
Yeah.
off to you.
It's such a common thing though, right? That those that are truly religious are the ones trying to shout down other religions. Like, no, everybody's beliefs are just as important as the next person.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to say that all of it isn't true, that this isn't just one big massive simulation and everything's true at once. We don't know. We don't know that. But that to me is the beauty of living, is the fact that there's so much curiosity out there, like, to be explored, and we can have these conversations. I think it's absolutely great.
No, definitely. I feel like there's a really good moment in 99 of the Critical Role that I was watching, where a character is explaining to another character who has lost where they were getting their power from, their divine energy turned out to be a very evil power. They've shed it and now they feel really lost. And he's looking for a new divine energy, a new connection that he can feel purpose from.
Mm.
And he's talking to different members of the group, like, who do you pray to? Who do you ask for your guidance from? And one of the um, members of the Mighty Nine says, it's about trusting, it's about just following, it's just about, taking that leap and just going with it, and whatever feels good to you, go for it. And he says, but how do you know you're not wasting your time? And he's
Mm.
like, well, if I knew, then it wouldn't be faith. And I think that's a really
Oh,
beautiful way of explaining, like,
yeah.
that you can't know for certain and have faith. They're
Yeah,
not the
that
same
is
thing.
faith. That's the
That is the
definition of
beauty of
faith.
faith. Yeah,
Yeah.
that it's so strong. You don't necessarily need scientific evidence for
Yeah.
it. It's so important to you that it overrides all of that. And as long as you're not a fundamentalist and doing anything in the name of God or Jesus that would be disrupting other people's lives, then by all means, be happy.
This
Like,
is the thing, isn't it?
follow whatever you want.
I've got a lot of faith, and that I've got real deep faith in the spirit realm, in reincarnation, in angels, whether they're gods, whether they're angels, multiple of them. I have got that strong faith, but I don't assign myself to one religion. I would say I am spiritual, as a way of explaining that kind of thing. And I think there's a lot more people turn into that more kind of intuitive led beliefs of, like you say, as long as you're not harming anybody, as long as you're not harming yourself in the name of your faith,
Yeah.
then I can only see positives in that, because it's forgiveness, it's love. Now, I know the chat's going mad. We'll read it in a sec. One thing I did notice is that I saw it said there is only one route to God, but isn't it like commonly said that there are many ways to climb a mountain, and that's the whole point? Like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because obviously I've got friends of so many different faiths. We've just celebrated Eid, and we discuss these things openly, my friends and I. We don't fall out over it. There's no like bitterness. There's no, so I was talking about the Quran today, and the fact that the Quran says about the birds. The birds in the morning, they tweet, they fly out, they find food, they go home and roost. God will always provide. If you're out there, you're seeking whatever it is you need, God will always provide. Beautiful. I believe that too. And I don't subscribe to the fact that I am Islam or Muslim, but I believe that too, that if you take the leap, the universe will catch you. So it's like, and that's okay. We've all got different ways of getting to the same outcome.
Yeah. It's we live in such a modern time compared to the start of man. And the idea that the religions that are about now are any more real or have more validity to ones that they've only been around the last, what, first century?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
been it's ridiculous how much time was before that and how many more different religions have risen and then people have forgotten about.
Yeah.
And the
And
idea that the religions today might have exactly the same fate.
yeah. And as well, the interpretations and the translations. There's proof that certain things that were written on stone, like tablets that were carved, say a different thing to what the document that people take as like that's the truth says. It's like they've been translated with somebody else's interpretation. You know, that's
So many
common knowledge.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
definitely.
like,
There's this idea that the European Christian is the oldest. It's the Ethiopian Bible is far older than the King
yeah,
James Bible. It's ridiculous. And it's just understanding that whatever you connect to within your lifetime that helps give you strength and helps you go for it. Someone says, love Monty Python. Me too. I don't know what that's got to do with it, but I bet they do mock religion a lot. This is what we don't want. Socialism destroys it, does not create. Um, I'd like there we go with the evidence. I don't need evidence for God, right? But I need you to provide me evidence where a socialist society has been allowed to thrive without sanctions, without embargoes placed onto them that makes them struggle. Please, one example, would love it, where
and
it's
also
failed.
capitalism destroys, man. Like I've seen
Yeah, it's
way
doing
more
so great for
destruction
us all.
than yeah.
People are arguing about religion, which I don't necessarily want to get into.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we don't have to address everything. Like, you know,
But
we have scripture telling you it, so you cannot say you don't know. It's like, yeah, but like I've just said, the scripture's been translated a million times. Like, and then even the Ten Commandments that someone is talking about here. I was watching something recently where I can't remember. This is my problem. I can never physically remember the way you remember things so well. But it was something to do with the Ten Commandments had literally been changed through the translation. They'd been changed to suit the society that needed to put those Ten Commandments out. They were not what was said or what was recorded originally. You know, and it's like, oh my god. So yeah, it's quite amusing, really. Um, I'll address this though. Do you know Satan comes to people as an angel of light and people can be easily misled if they don't know? Well, that is part and parcel of our conversations when we discuss this spiritual element and, you know, that fine line between hearing spirit and hearing voices and, you know, a mental breakthrough compared to a mental breakdown. And, you know, I do find it fascinating that this thread of thought that demons can mimic angels and that they can therefore disrupt your progress and like tempt you and stuff. But again, it's like it's so symbolic, isn't it? People are in my life that I would class as like angels that are pushing me towards the good things, and demons that are like, go on, let's do this, let's do that, stuff that's not necessarily good for me. So it's like, is it just symbology as well?
yeah,
um
definitely. I mean, no one's stopping Devil Enter the Chat, right? It's happening today, and they will do whatever they want to ruin your time. Like you said, disturb your path, disturb your peace, your journey. You
yeah.
can either give that devil the time and money and effort and help give it power, or you can realize it has zero power if you pay it no attention. It's a
Yeah, well,
Gary Glitter and 6 months of chemo.
I know. I was just thinking, I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna add that onto my. I'm gonna add that to all the amazing. But the thing is, this person isn't joking. You know what I mean? It's like we're laughing, but it's like, get off my stream, get out my life.
I
And I think as
appreciate the
well,
joke, but bye.
it's not a joke. That's the thing. It's like, oh, have you removed it?
Yes.
Oh, bless you. Thanks. But I am going to write it down because I think that was quite funny.
The joke,
also
but you don't get to stay, man.
Ramanato, I think we've perhaps misjudged their passion behind the religion thing, in the sense that they've then said, everything I say does not come from myself, but what God has said. They're clearly a committed religious person. That's absolutely fine. We totally respect that. And then obviously what I'd said about God providing, that is beautiful. It's true. You're right that you have nothing to worry about because God will provide with what you need. And I think that's a beautiful concept.
Oh.
So I
that
think that,
contradicts the first statements, right? Of you're lying, you're spreading
yeah,
mistruth, you're talking badly about God. If you've
it's
got any
triggered,
kind of
isn't it?
apology in the name of God that's coming through you, that would be a great time to put that in the chat right now. But if not, we forgive you anyway, because God decides, right? God judges, not for anyone else to. But
I think sorry, they burn a witch in the film. They're talking about the Monty Python thing there. I think because you said, I think that's what they're talking about there. That reference. I hope so. Else otherwise, it's the third time I've been called a witch in 2 days. And do you know what? I've been saying I'm a witch for the last year, and no one's took me seriously. All it took was to shave my head.
it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
Like the thing is as well, though, the Gary Glitter chemo thing. How does that person know that I'm not going through chemo? Do you get what I mean? Like, it's a really horrible thing to say. And also, they don't know the reason I did it. I could be supporting family members that are going through chemo. It's like, just think before you comment, please, because it doesn't offend me, but it could offend the viewers, people that are taking strength from this act, So,
yeah.
naughty.
Unfortunately, we live in that world of like, where's the common sense gone, right? Where people think like, I'm not being mean, I'm just having fun, or you're putting yourself on the internet, therefore I have the right to say whatever I want to you because this is a public forum. In which case, carry on. I hope your life is going really well. Like I said, it shows how much you've got going on the other side of that screen.
Yeah.
But I thought, let's finish off with, instead of the 10 commandments, which have been altered, these are the original, the 8. I'd really rather you didn't.
Oh
And I
yeah,
actually
okay, wicked.
think there's a lot of, I don't argue with any one of these. There's somewhere
Yeah.
that's like, thou shalt not, and I'm like, I don't have a goat. My neighbor doesn't have a goat, therefore it's not really applicable. I'm sure within a metaphorical sense, I'd get more from
Yeah.
it. But here is a breakdown of the 8 I'd really rather you didn't. Number 1, don't act like a jerk or self-righteous when describing your beliefs.
Nice, I love it. That's it. We should have read that one at the start.
Should have opened with this one, shouldn't I? Number 2, don't use belief as a way to oppress or harm others.
Brilliant. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's an amazing rule for us all to live by.
Love that. Number 3, don't judge people based on appearance or lifestyle.
Oh, how gorgeous. Is this the flying spaghetti monster one? Yeah, I'm going to sign up. This is what I'm going to...
I'm in.
I'm in. It's all I needed to hear.
Take my money. Number 4, don't engage in harmful sexual behavior. In parentheses, consent matters.
Brilliant.
I love that.
Yeah.
Number 5, don't fight or argue aggressively over beliefs.
Oh, this is the thing, isn't it? It's like we talk about our differences in beliefs. You don't need to get aggressive or fight over it. Hopefully we are sharing a good example of that at least.
Yeah, we can talk and we can be loosey-goosey, we can be silly goose, it's fine. It's all good. 7, don't exploit others or act greedily. And then the final one, don't ignore evidence of reality. It's do what you want. Don't ignore the actual evidence.
I feel like that one really summarizes that whole idea of faith and belief and evidence and stuff like that. That if I believe I'm here in spirit, but in reality, I'm losing it and picking up some really odd habits and like following what spirit says and erratic and not looking after myself and all of that, the reality is suggesting it's not spirit, that there's something else going on. So it's like, it's that being able to weigh it up, isn't it? Like, and have a little bit of like, I don't know, mix and match. Don't just go with one thing. And having these conversations, allow yourself to be questioned, so that then if somebody says, but how does that work, then you can be like, oh yeah, not really thought about that. That's a good point. Yeah, how would that apply? Or how would that pan out? Or, yeah.
Yeah, it's not always an idea of like making you question what you believe. It could lead to a real strengthening of your relationship with what you believe in. It's not everyone trying to point score and being like, actually, did you know? And it's like,
and
no,
change your belief to my belief.
Yeah, there's room for all beliefs, and everyone should have the freedom to do so. Socialism has been implemented. Oh God, socialism has been implemented in over 24 countries during the last century. With critics often citing there's people that are criticizing, often citing its constant failure to produce economic prosperity. Yeah, appreciate that. Give me evidence of ones that have failed because they've just failed on their own, not because the US or other countries.
You said that initially. You said, that they usually have got these sanctions on them, and fair enough, they're not successful, but that's due to the circumstances not being set up properly in the first place.
The country that is the most socialist right now, in the way that it's run, we would say is Portugal. Now, in the centre of Portugal, where my parents live, not only are my parents subjectively happier, you can see through their Fitbits where they're tracking their blood pressure, their mood, their sleep, that when they go to Portugal, they are getting green readings. It's fantastic. As soon as they are setting off to come back, their blood pressure's rising, their mood is going down, their sleep is getting worse.
Gosh.
Why is
that's
this?
sad, isn't it? That's a bit sad.
Right? Maybe it's because when they're there, a beer is 39 cents, just a stubby beer. A meal for the both of them is around £15, including a drink, 15 euros. The amount that's expected of the people that work there is way less. What they get, their bang for their buck. I'm not saying that poverty doesn't exist in Portugal. I'm not saying that everything's perfect in Portugal. But there is a clear evidence for putting into the system and not letting everything be so profit-driven that allows the people to be happier, de-stressed, and therefore live longer. But that is my preaching over.
So Lewis has popped into the chat and said, hi, what's the topic? We are actually at the end of the show now, but we've been discussing religion, which has been very fascinating. So do rewind and watch from the start. It's been a very, very good show.
I'm so glad you answered that. A part of me was just going to go, the topic was who's more of a lesbian. So rewind back.
There was that as well. So we were going to draw a card.
Okay.
Weren't we? Was that what we were going to do? Draw a card to finish off on? Well, I was just shuffling them and one just jumped out, but I feel like...
I love that. One's jumped out.
What jumped out was the Emperor. So I went with Tarot this week rather than Oracle.
Love that.
And I quite like it because the Emperor represents the male power, the male authority side of things. So maybe this is a message, because we touched upon the manosphere at the start, and that idea that there's triggered males that kind of like give all the other males a bad name, and they tend to be the loudest. So unfortunately, they're the ones that we end up kind of tarring all the other males with. But I have definitely noticed a rise in the gentle male, in the male that's not afraid to speak up for everybody's rights, in the male that understands that when we talk about female rights, or when somebody talks about gay rights and they're not gay, that's not overpowering their rights, and it's like, it's okay to support people's rights and it's not going to be detrimental to your own.
No, definitely.
But the actual description says the power to confidently lead others, whatever resistance may be met, managing to sustain a situation or garner faith, respect, and following from others. Sometimes we can struggle with stepping up to a position of authority and the learning curve it presents. Do what you can. Where you may lack knowledge or strength, seek help or information. Find someone you can look up to and work to develop similar qualities to those that you admire. I think that's really beautiful advice for anybody for this week that's perhaps feeling a bit of imposter syndrome. Find somebody's leadership style that you really enjoy. Try and emulate some of their style by developing those skills within yourself. And for the parts that you're unsure on, seek advice, do the research, keep an open mind, be prepared to be changed.
I love that. I feel like that was quite a nice finishing card for this whole session, and definitely for how the world is feeling right now. If you got something specific from that card, or you're like, oh my God, that's just so freaky, we want to hear about it, get it in the comments, and we'll be sure to let everyone know what you came up with next episode. We are 2 episodes away from 100 episodes of this podcast. Woo, wow. How have we done it? Well, I want your help, guys. How can we celebrate this? What's something we can do? Maybe a way to raise money, to get more followers, to get more views, to get more hours watched, to just have a good time and celebrate with all of you that have been here for the 100 episodes. So if you have any ideas, get them in the chat, send them to me via the email. If you go on the website, everything that we all do all the time is available on there. The events will be out this summer. Beat the Odds has got to be really soon, right, Linz?
I know, 2 weeks on Friday. That's crazy. So and then this Saturday is a women's only mindset workshop as well. It's in the shop on our webpage, so busdifferent.com. Go to the shop. It should be the top one in there, and it's got all the details of what to expect, but it's going to be a really good one. There's so much. There's cleansing, vision boards, setting your intentions, there's planting a seed around those intentions, and there's also an optional goddess photo shoot as well. So there's loads going on. Wow. But we'd love a few more of you booked on, so don't hesitate. Get booked.
Get in the description in the description there is the link for the website, and also for A Different Story, the anthology, the collection of really inspiring, amazing tales from a host of neurodivergent people who run businesses, have platforms that they share their information, their experiences with. We all came together and made a little book, and it's amazing. And by you purchasing it, it really supports us. Any of the resources that we create that you purchase really go a long way. So thank you so much to anyone that has previously bought anything and is planning on buying more of. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I think that's everything.
Excellent. I really, really enjoyed all the information you've shared with us tonight, Steph. So thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been good.
Yeah,
I'm looking for papers to shuffle. Oh.
Oh no. Have you got to go behind the camera to close it down?
No, I can just move it.
Oh, okay. Excellent. So I was just thinking, I was like, I'm not going to need papers to shuffle.
Just pretend. Night, guys. Take care. Have a lovely evening. See you next Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.